How is it going, Toons of the World? It's your pal Megasnoo bringing you another Toontastic video today. And in today's video, I just wanted to bring some constructive criticism. These are some ideas that I had for racing that I think could make racing better and more enjoyable and more fun and less of a chore. I think that would be a great idea, and I want to bring those up to you guys, see what you guys think about them, and if you guys really like them, maybe we as a collective can be like, hey, TTR, after you fix golfing and the rest of the game, maybe you can look at this and see if this is something you can do with racing. So without further ado, let's get started with this. The first one I want that I think will just in a nutshell help racing be better is to have better steering. At the moment, there are a lot of courses that you can't turn and make turns without hitting the wall. There's just no way. No matter how much you try, unless you just completely stop moving, let go of the forward button, and just like inch your way through, you're gonna come in flying like a wrecking ball and hit the side of the wall. So if the turning could be a little bit more touchy, when you turn it, you actually, turn like a whole almost 90 degrees, as opposed to just a slight curve and you start drifting and hit a wall. Just making turning a little bit more touchy will improve it so much, because then we don't have a bunch of people running into walls. We can just actually go through the turns as fast as we can. I think that would be a great idea. Number 2 would be more tracks. As it stands right now, there are 6 total tracks, and doing them backwards isn't really that great. I'm not gonna lie. They try to get away with saying that there's 12 tracks. There's only really 6. TTO was really lazy. They're like, let's make 6 total tracks and then turn them all backwards and pretend it's a new track. You can't do that. We can tell. And we know, especially when it's one of the really original ones that's just an oval, going backwards isn't that special. It's just doing the oval the other way, which is still an oval. It's almost as lazy as their front 3, middle 6, and back 9 maze designs, where they literally take one maze and they rotate it 90 degrees, and then rotate it 90 degrees, and rotate it 90 degrees, and call it 4 mazes, when in reality it's just one that they copy and pasted. And I don't know how hard it would be to make a new racetrack, but I'm sure a lot of the components are there, and if you can just copy and paste it and just move them around, you can take things that already exist in the game and just use them to build a new track. Doesn't need to be like a whole new area, just more tracks for the areas that we already have. Heck, if LEGO Stunt Rally can bring the ability for you to make your own track back in 1998, I'm pretty sure TTR can take the bits and pieces that they have and make that into something. Number 3 would be more items. I would love to see more items. There's currently 4 items, and the anvil appears way too often. You could be in second place and get an anvil, even though the dude in front of you is like two feet in front of you, and it's like, yeah, you're gonna hit that guy. Like, that's completely unfair. It's way too common. And when you're in first place and you have a cream pie and you just don't know what to do with that, like what are you supposed to throw that at? A few ideas I had was to have something like an oil slick. Maybe you can pick up an item and it'll be a glass of water or the hose gag, and it would just create an oil slick on the track, or a water slick, or whatever tunes say, I don't know. You could have the magnet be an item, so when you drive up next to somebody, it slows them down and it pulls them behind you. Or you could use the storm cloud, and it'll act similar to the way that the cloud works in Mario Kart, where it just hits everybody in front of you and it slows them down a little bit, but not like completely stop like the anvil would. Those are just some ideas I had for some more items, and they definitely need more items. There's only 4 items and only 2 of them are any good. Number 4 on my list is to fix the collisions. Way too many times somebody will come up from behind me and bump me in the back, and then I completely stop and then they keep going. So I'm sure there's some way that you can fix the collisions where that won't happen, but an easy solution, just until you can really get into the data and the coding and figure out how to do that, just turn collisions off. Allow us to drive through each other. Maybe not everybody will like that answer, but I feel like that's a lot better than accidentally bumping into somebody and then flying backwards 800 years to Mars. Like, it's ridiculous. Number 5 is to have the Grand Prix more accessible. It's like, I don't want to wait until Monday to be able to do some of my racing trophies, especially when I gotta get like 25 racing wins. That's a lot to do on one Monday. Maybe have like a little booth off to the side where you can go and sign up for the Grand Prix, and off to the side have a little spot where everybody can hop on, and that'll be the Grand Prix instead of hopping on the regular spots. And lastly, I would love if the racing trophies weren't such a struggle to get. Like 100 wins on the longest tracks, like that's ridiculous. Nobody's got time for that. And if they do, they obviously aren't prioritizing their life. Instead of 100 wins, why can't we just do like 1, 10, and 25? Kind of like the Grand Prix is. That wouldn't be too bad, right? With the Grand Prix wins, just make it like 1, 5, and 15. You know, something not so bad. People want to play the game, they don't want to grind the game and do the same thing over and over again. It's fun the first few times. The 500th time you're doing a race, it's not as fun. Those are just some things to think about. Let me know what you guys think of these ideas, what you would add to racing or remove, and maybe we can get some of these implemented. You never know. Thank you guys for watching the video. You can leave a like if you enjoyed, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Stay tuned, God bless, and peace.